Hey folks, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Let's discuss the topic of astrology and past lives today. Does the chart show us past lives? So I think that our first port of call has to be sort of clarifying the underlying architecture in which we are posing this question. What premises are involved in terms of how we are posing this question, and clarifying your beliefs and clarifying how you approach astrology, your philosophical, cultural, spiritual orientations that inform what you see in the natal chart is so important. And that's something I talk about in my mini guide, 5 guidelines for approaching astrology, which is available to people who have joined my email list. But the importance of clarifying your framework, your paradigm, your perspective, that a lens that conditions what you see when you look at the natal chart. Yeah, so we're doing that in terms of this question of astrology and past lives. So the question really revolves around, in my view, the relationship between the soul and the astrological pattern. What is the relationship between one's soul and one's astrological pattern? Now, in my view, there is a very tight relationship between the agendas and the intentions of the soul and the astrological pattern. In other words, you have to qualify for your astrology. You have to qualify for the configurations in your natal chart. There is a match between what you are here to do, what you are here to be, what themes you are here to explore, and the configuration of planetary energies at your birth. And the astrology supports your soul intention and also reflects your soul intention on some kind of very fundamental base level, a very archetypal level. What am I here to explore? So the astrology, in my view, is something that supports and augments us. We are, let's say, equipping ourselves with an energetic and physiological and psychological cloaking or attunement that is allowing us to experience what our soul intends for us to experience while we are in a physical body. So there is a very tight relationship between, well, what is my soul agenda and what's my astrology? So that's my starting point when I come to a chart. The chart is reflective of the soul's intentions, not the entirety of experience of the soul, but what the soul intends for the very specific life that you're in your very specific body. So there's that. So in my view, we come into a body with the imprints that are relevant to the specific intentions and purposes of our individual lifetime. So the way it was shown to me is that when we re-enter the Earth's magnetic field, and even speaking about this question of re-entering, it's a bit challenging because it's hard to talk about this question of past lives in linear terms. Our linear language constrains how we can speak about this, because it's not as though there's this sort of sequential past life, from life to life to life. In my understanding, it's far more interesting because it's actually simultaneous. We have a simultaneous experience. Our soul has simultaneous lifetime experiences. So there's that. So when we re-enter the Earth's magnetic field, when we physicalize our consciousness, we sort of reassume certain patterning that is relevant to the issues that we are here to explore in any given lifetime. So there is a reactivation of the karma, the patterning that we are here to resolve. When we are outside of the body, there is less of an emotional and energy charge. And when we come onto the planet, when we're inside of the Earth's magnetic field, there is a reactivation and reawakening of certain patterning throughout our soul history that is relevant to what issues we are here to resolve on a soul level and the purposes of the life. Okay, so there's that. Now, this patterning that is reactivated, that has to do with why the soul is here. That patterning associated with certain issues, that patterning, the relevant patterning of the soul, that the soul is here to experience and to, let's say, resolve through a physical lifetime, that to some degree is certainly reflected in the chart. So the chart does show the sort of energy patterning that is relevant to what life we are living and what purposes we are here to achieve, what agendas we are here to pursue. So the chart does show that patterning. So in my estimation, it's not that the chart shows a specific lifetime, but the chart shows a matrix of patterning, combined patterning from many lifetimes or timelines on Earth that are relevant to the lifetime that we are living in now. So there is a thematic continuity, let's say, between the patterning that we see in the natal chart and, let's say, a series of lifetimes that were used to explore a certain issue. So the chart does not show a specific lifetime, but it shows combined patterning from many lifetimes or timelines in sort of this broad brushstroke, in broad brushstrokes. Yeah. So when we do things like regression therapy, people often go into a regression therapy, past life regression, and they often recall several lifetimes that have to do with a specific theme. For example, your relationship to power. And they would recall different lifetimes that are thematically linked to that issue of power and claiming power, for example. So we have this recall that ties these lives into a certain thematic, kind of pattern. So it's the same thing, I think, in the chart, that the chart is showing us the big picture of energy, the kind of big archetypal picture that, is relevant. So we could have several lifetimes that, we perhaps in several lifetimes we did not use our voice, or we had issues around articulating our truth, for example. And that, as a combined matrix of energy from several lifetimes, that's what the chart shows in very broad terms, very broad archetypal terms. So again, it's not that the chart is showing one specific life. And it's not that, in my understanding of things and what I've been shown, it's not that we just have one past life. We have several manifestations of our soul along various lines of time that all exist simultaneously. And it's very hard to put this into linear language. And our consciousness, the agreement here, the sort of local custom here on Earth is a sort of linear understanding of time, past, present, future, which serves how we are to learn lessons here on the planet. And it serves the experience that we have constructed for ourselves here on Earth, the Earth experience. But it's very much a local custom because there is a simultaneity of time. Yes? So the lives are simultaneous. All right. So what in the chart indicates our past life patterning? So my answer is that this is the whole chart. The whole chart, taken holistically, is what shows us our past patterning. And, it's sort of hard to reduce the past life to, one factor that shows us all of our past life issues. That's not quite true. The entire configuration of the chart shows us the soul imprint. But having said that, I think there are a few indexes or signatures in the chart that speak quite strongly to past experience, or let's say soul imprints, or the repository of past experience that is conditioning our lifetime right now. I think that the moon's nodes, the moon itself, very important, the nodes of the moon, Pluto, importantly, the water houses, the water signs, Saturn. But the whole birth chart really does show us, the entire soul patterning in terms of what experiences of the soul are now relevant to this lifetime. Because one would consider that your choice to be in this particular identity, my conscious identity as Tara, is stemming out of the needs and experiences of other counterparts of my soul, or other experiences of my soul. So, the combined experience of my soul gives birth to a new expression that is Tara. So, my identity comes out of the needs of my soul and comes out of its quest to have more experience. So I am justified. I am birthed out of a need of my soul to have more experience. And thus, past imprints, past experiences are relevant to where I am now in terms of how I may be resolving certain past energies or seeking to have new experiences that I haven't had before. Yeah. So there's that. So all of these indicators are important. The moon, the nodes of the moon, Pluto, the water houses, the water signs, Saturn, but the whole birth chart holistically conceived and considered is really important in terms of, past lives. So again, it's speaking to the fact that, your level of perception, how much you understand about these issues, or how you see these issues, what your belief systems are, that is going to that will inform what kind of past life soul data you are able to get. So I think that your spiritual paradigm is important in terms of how much the chart can convey to you and how much you can extract from the chart in terms of understanding the past life patterning, the soul patterning. So yes, the chart does show us our past patterning, not one specific life, but apart from showing us our past patterning, the natal chart shows us our intention to move beyond past patterning. So let's say that we have a Moon-Pluto square in our chart. So the Moon-Pluto square could very much indicate what has not been integrated within us. But the Moon-Pluto aspect itself also shows us our intention to bring that Moon-Pluto interchange into more integrated and conscious expression. So we're still working on our Moon-Pluto issues. So the chart will show us what's the past patterning, but also shows us our intention for what we are here to heal and resolve and what we are here to move beyond. Yeah. So again, your framework for how you really consider these issues is really, really important. What framework do you have? Your idea of past lives, your idea of human choice, your idea of power. How much power do we really have as human beings? That's important in terms of how you're going to look at this question of past lives and the natal chart. So those are my 2 cents on the issue. Hope you found this helpful, and until next time, talk soon. Bye.